we are going to be adding a static pressure sensor to our Ventra XT. To do that, we menu hotkey to control device setup, then add control device, press enter. Now we're going to scroll through the list and find static pressure. And you see it down there, so I can either touch it or I can arrow down to it. And then once it's highlighted blue, I press enter. And then remember, the static pressure sensor will automatically be called number 0 because each zone can only have one static pressure in it. So if you have multiple zones, you could add another static pressure sensor, but in each zone you can only have one. So we also only have one zone in this example, so Z1, then on to the module. Now the Ventra XT on the new analog input board does have 24 volt capabilities. The static pressure sensor that we use in the Ventra line can take 12 volts or 24 volts. So just to make extra room and ease, we are actually going to put it on the 24 volt channel. And in this case, since that's the new analog input board, that is the mod, it will be considered mod 3. So we have to change that to mod 3, arrow over. Now we're going to program the channel that this sensor is on, and it is on channel 4. Press enter, enter to confirm. Now to finish setting up the static pressure sensor, go home, menu hotkey, input devices, and then there's our hotkey menu. There's our static pressure sensor. Now this is the calibration. All these calibrations are factory set and there's really no reason to change them. But you do always want to make sure that your static pressure cal is 0 and your cal 2 is 0.25 because that's the min and the max that this static pressure sensor takes. So if those get altered, it will affect the static pressure reading on your sensor. So those are the same. So we're going to leave those where they're at. We're going to hit home. We're going to go to control settings, and then we're going to arrow over. Now to continue setting up your static pressure sensor, we do have a tunnel barn in this example. So we now will have to set our natural or our power static pressure setting. So like if you're pulling air through sidewall inlets or ceiling inlets, this would be considered natural or power. So we can set that for, you know, if your set point normally is going to probably be more like a a 0.08, press enter, and then our close 0.07 is what it came with, and then a 0.09. That's 10 points either side, above or below. You could go 20 points if you wanted to. I'm going to leave it at that for right now. So that's going to be our power setting. Then we're going to go down to our natural setting, and going to leave that. Let's see, we'll put that at about a 0.5, just for tunnel settings for this example. So now we have our static pressure tunnel set, our static pressure natural set, and we have now finished setting our static pressure sensor on our, and as you can see on the home screen, it shows static pressure, which we've got no fans on, so there's no air moving in the barn, so we do have no static pressure, but you do show a min and a max on your home screen, and it'll show the actual static pressure at that time when you have fans running and you are pulling static pressure. And that's setting up your static pressure sensor on the XT.